Boom. Can anybody see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can see.
All right. So yes, Voyage system. I try to put it during this. We'll try to analyze or simplify and cover as much as we can. You know, a higher region 1, region A. I'm going to try and concentrate on the region A, but I'll also try and bring in region B in as well, and I'll try to explain the differences between the region A and region B, and the general and local direction of Voyage and the characteristics, you know, of different Voyage and lights used in this system. There's sometimes I'm going to also deal with abbreviation used on charts. So that might, because that was that I started seeing it in Oral's note, abbreviation used for chat, and I think it's really something that we will need to dwell on. I might not be able to dwell on it today, but I've restarted looking at abbreviation on chart. There are some things they just write on the chart and we're like, what does this mean? But we just overlook it. But that's not supposed to be so. And that's why the examiners are now coming out again now to start saying, no, have you started looking at the abbreviation before you even make some notices to mariners correction weekly as well. So like I said, this lesson is just to make us, you know, identify fog signals, Voyage system, especially on region A by day and night. And let's look at the meaning and the general of this flight as well. And yeah, we already know about IALA, and the IALA are the ones who brought out the Voyage system, and that they are known as the International Association of Lighthouse Authority, International Association of Lighthouse Authority. And like we see here, it's a non-governmental body, but it recommends improvement to the navigational aids based on this test technology. So they are the ones. So when you see the Voyage system, you don't just see the Voyage system alone. You see it with the IALA. IALA is the International Association of Lighthouse Authority. I remember in sound shoes there is a signal light, and that's one of the major things. What is IALA? Who looks over or who brings out this Voyage system? Who brought about this Voyage system? Who is in charge of, you know, bringing out new buoys or reviewing or analyzing or based on latest technology? Who is looking after it? Who is the overview? But it's called the IALA. In case anybody wants to know that for today as well. So now it now comes to a stage where just like we have the driving. I drive a lot in Nigeria. I do a lot of what they call the Agbero driving right here in Nigeria. But coming over to UK, I see it's kind of different as well, which in Nigeria, we have the steering on the left-hand side. But in UK, we have the steering on the right-hand side. And the first place I saw that was in India as well. But going back to America, we have the same with Nigeria. So we have some countries with steering on the left-hand side, and we have some countries with steering on the right-hand side. But we all follow the same rules as well. But your thinking has got to change. So sometimes when I'm driving in Nigeria, I go with the left-hand side. And then coming down to UK, I have to, oh my gosh, I go with the right-hand side. And that has major implication because in Nigeria, you have to keep to your right. But in UK, you have to keep to your left. In India, you have to keep to your left, and other countries like that, especially European countries. So that's why we come about, I mean, that's the same theory behind Voyage regions A and B. So we have Voyage region A and we have Voyage region B as well. So that's another thing I would like us to analyze before our next class, that which countries normally have the Voyage region A. So let me look at it in a way. I would say the Voyage region A is straightforward, is the one we use in Nigeria. Nigeria, UK, but there are other ones that we use the Voyage system B. And the Voyage system B is just kind of opposite of the Voyage system A. But I really like us to look at it and analyze it. Okay, which country uses the Voyage region A? Right now, I'm going to be more interested in the region A of it, because the region A is what we used to, but also coming to get an unlimited license, you must be more familiar with region A and the region B, if you know what I'm saying. So looking at the map here, I'm just going to minimize this now. Yeah, so looking at the map here, we can see Africa. We can see Africa down to the Indian Ocean, down to Australia, down to Asia, down to Europe, Greenland. They are all on region A. Everyone is on region A. And that was in, I think, like I wrote here, 1973, when the IALA met, I know they divided the world into two for some reasons. And we have the North America and the South America. Americans are always really very sketchy and misunderstanding the way the general flow of the whole world does their things. But in this case also, they kept theirs on region B. And when I say they are kind of different from the way the general world does their things, if you go down to their flag state and other states, you really see that they are really doing something slightly different from what the worlds are doing. I may touch about that in another class, but yeah, we can see from the map here what region A, which countries are going with region A, which countries are going with region B. So let's come back to our class here. Where are we sticking to? I mean, which country are we? So for instance, what the examiner, I mean, yeah, international, if we're looking at international trade, what the examiner tries to put you is, oh, you are in Indian Ocean or you are in South American Ocean. Which region are you? And then it gives you a region, and then it starts piloting. So the biggest mistake of students, which was one of my mistakes, was navigating like you are navigating in region A. Navigating through region B like you are navigating in region A. First of all, we got to know, sir, which region are we? And that was the first question that we need to ask the examiner, or ask even ourselves when we are going to, okay, let's say from Nigeria, you're driving 7 hours, 10 hours, no problem. But then you come down to the UK. In Nigeria, you keep to the right. In the UK, you keep to the left. All the time, you keep to the left. But in the UK, you start to ask yourself, oh, am I in the UK or am I in Nigeria? So I'll know where to keep to, and I'll know how to follow the regulation. So it's the same thing also that is, I mean, I'm talking of car driving. But the same thing also with sailing as well. If you are moving from Africa or Europe or Asia or Australia, some side of Asia, because some side of Asia also the B. So moving down to A. Oh, we have moved down to A. Then the rules might slightly, when I mean slightly change as well. So there's going to be some countries that you will really need to be very careful of, and there will be other countries you need to be careful also. So when the examiner puts you, so which region? That's the first thing. So putting, for instance, which I will go into, a port and lateral mark, just put a red mark. I mean a red cone or a cylinder. There are many things I will ask. Number one, where is the top mark? Because the top mark might also tell you the region one, which we'll go into. But the cylinder itself is red. So which region are we? If you tell me region A, then I'll know what to do. And if you tell me region B, I'll know what to do, because they are quite different as well. So coming back again to region A and region B, we should be able to understand that it's not just about answering the questions generically of, oh, red to port or green to starboard, but it's about which region are we? Which region are we? Then the IALA system, like I tried to just explain here, which I will just quickly read fast, is it applies to all fixed and floating marks and the lighthouse. So this IALA system, they are really much into so many things as well. And they are really much into lighthouse, they're really much into sector lights. So the sector lights, you see, entering into the pier, entering into the harbor, as well. They're really much more into it. And then you see some flashing light. If I have anybody in the house that did OW in UK, there's an exam they call signals, and you can't get your OW unless you do signal. So the signals is D dot dot dot. And it's more of using Morse code like to really be able to communicate to the crew, to communicate to ships. But this IALA system are the one in charge. Then it serves as, side and center lines of navigational channels that we want to put in the center lines of navigational channels to know where you follow natural dangers or areas in which navigation will be obstructed by regulation. And of course, any feature related to the marina, isolated danger mark, the west cardinal point, or anyone, the IALA are already a system that has been put in place now. Says are the one who will be in charge of this system. So now let's look at the Voyage system, region A. To meet these requirements, there are 5 different types of marks as provided. The first one is the lateral marks. Second one is the cardinal marks. Now I'm going to ask anybody in the class now to give me what other marks they know of. I've given you 2. Is anybody in the class ready for that? Yeah, Prince, go ahead.
Yes. Okay, we have, apart from the natural mark, we have safe water mark. We have the mark.
Sorry, I think I mistakenly moved you. Sorry, please unmute yourself. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, I said we have about the marks. We have selected danger mark. We have emergency wreck. We have safe water mark. Yes, I think that's the ones you already mentioned.
Yeah. So the
Can you read me?
Yeah, I read you loud and clear. I read it loud and clear.
Okay.
So I'll just move to yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Prince. That was good. Someone else, is it November Alpha? Thank you very much, very much, for the special mark. So we have. I normally look out for 5. I normally look out for the lateral, which we'll go into. Let's know what lateral mark is. Then we'll look at the cardinal marks as well. Then the isolated danger mark is on its own. Then the safe water marks. Prince, your hand is still up. You want to tell us what safe water mark is? Or anybody can just tell us what do you understand by the safe water marks? Yeah, JJ, go ahead. I'm trying to loud my system in case JJ is talking that I'm not hearing. JJ, I'm not sure I'm hearing you too.
Safe water marks is good evening, Cap.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Oscar, Sierra, please go ahead.
Okay, safe water marks is navigable water.
Navigable water. That means it's safe around.
Safe,
around.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. So, what do you understand? Is anybody there to tell me what you understand by the isolated danger mark? Isolated danger mark. Anyone? JJ, I think you're talking, but I'm not just hearing you. Yeah, please go ahead. I'm not just hearing JJ today.
Yeah, so I think, okay, isolated danger mark is a mark that indicates where there is a danger, maybe kind of wreck and not been removed. So I think it's there to indicate for seafarers or the navigators to know that there is danger at that particular position.
Yeah, thanks. That answers it. Yeah, that throws a lot of light on it as well. Thank you very much. So yeah, we've talked about the different kind of marks. I mean, 5 marks that we can see according to the IALA as well, and they are the lateral marks, and this kind of come like a question, and then they ask you what kind of different marks do we have, and I'm like, lateral marks, cardinal marks, the port lateral marks, but that's wrong because it's supposed to be lateral marks, cardinal, then an isolated danger marks that shows when there's danger, and then we have the safe water mark around, and then we have the special mark, which we'll go into, an interesting mark as well. So characteristics of the light, we have readings, fixed flashing, quick flashing, very quick flashing, and ultra quick flashing. So there are some lights when they ask you, they just like, I always remember my own orals and many orals reports that I've been seeing of lately. And they ask, oh, okay, they give you one of the cardinal marks, let's say the north cardinal mark, and they ask, can you give me the reading of the light? Can anybody give me the reading of the light of north cardinal marks? Orals question. Reading of the light, north cardinal mark.
That's not very possible.
What?
That's not very possible.
I'm not sure I heard you, but can you type it in the chat? Let's see your answer. Reading of light, not cardinal mark. How many flashes? It flashes as well. But I'm expecting that on the message chat, but we'll still get to it as we are going. So yeah, there is fixed light where it just shines. Like I told you, it's more about the lighthouse. The lighthouse, you can see the lighthouse always flashing. And so most times it's fixed, and then the quick flashing light and the very quick flashing light and the ultra flashing light. And then now we have occulting, and this was another very confusing part as well. Yeah, I'll just check the charts now. Very quick or quick continuous white light. Thank you, Kelvin. Very quick or quick continuous white light. That is for the north cardinal mark. Can another person just type in for the east cardinal mark? Let's see. East cardinal mark. What's the light there? Because that's how they just do. They just keep flashing. I think we'll even do that in one of our lessons. We just flash and then you tell me the characteristics of the light. But there's also occulting, and I'm just trying to get an isophase. So occulting, we need to know when they say the light is occulting, there's a boy that is occulting. If anybody know that, you can drop it in the message. But we'll still get to there. I just want to see if people prepare. Occulting is when the light is more than the darkness. And isophase is when the light and the darkness are equal. Light and the darkness are equal, like some special mark lights. We have the lights and the we have more lights than darkness in some lights that we'll see later in the slide as well. But now let's really concentrate on lateral marks. So lateral marks, as we can see, they are generally used for well-defined channels. So when I mean well-defined channels, I mean not just any color channel. I mean channels that are really channels that are established to bring in vessels to the port, to the harbor as well. So yeah, and they are also in direction of the Voyage system. So this well established in the sense that they've been able to note where the deep water is, and of course where the shallow water is as well. and they will always put the lateral marks at the edge. It indicates the limit of the port and the starboard side. So you going over the, for instance, you're coming in or you're going over the ports, you should know you're out of the channel and you need to come back to the channel, because this works hand in hand with collision regulations. If you are not able to understand it, you might not be able to understand Rule 9 as well. So yeah, lateral marks, you will always see them coming into an established port, coming into Gibraltar, coming into Aberdeen, coming into Onne port, coming into Tema, Takoradi, different ports around the world, interesting ports as well. But you really need to, like I told you, first thing first, you need to see when you're entering into the port is which region, and then the region tries to tell you what the mark is about, what the mark is really telling you about. So some people might really misinterpret it for region A to region B, and then they enter through the other way, and boom, that's a disaster. That's a grounding situation as well. So that's lateral mark for us here. And like I told you, it's always when we are entering into an established channel and approaching a port, a river, an harbor, or any waterway as well. So the IALA region A and the region B entry port on the port and starboard side is what the lateral marks will always help us to really achieve. So when you see a green lateral mark on the starboard side, can somebody tell us what that means? Green lateral mark, starboard side. Anyone? You can drop it on the chat. Yeah, Prince, go ahead, please. Yeah, you can
Yes, green lateral mark on the starboard side shows that there's a region A, starboard ball.
All right. Thank you very much. Region A, starboard. Is that correct?
Exactly, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now there are really interesting questions that we really I'm gonna skip to why did you say it's because it's a green boy?
Come back.
You said a green boy. Is a starboard lateral mark. Is that correct?
Yes, a conical green boy. It shows that the region A, starboard
side.
Conical
green boy. I see that you have further understanding. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Prince. Yeah, seeing it as a green boy alone does not qualify it to be a starboard lateral mark. It doesn't qualify you to. So I'm just going to ask another person before I was about to say the answer myself. Kelvin, if you are there, November Alpha, if you are there, can you tell me a starboard and lateral marks, where are you going to keep it? Or anybody? Starboard and lateral mark coming into the channel.
I think coming into the channel, it will be kept on the starboard.
All right, it will be on the starboard, and then leaving the channel, it will be on your
port side.
On your port side all the time when you are exiting. Thank you very much, JJ. Thank you very much. When you are exiting the channel, it's always supposed to be opposite of what you use in entering as well. So many things we really need to look out into, because these examiners sometimes they're really tricky and they're really just out there to just fix someone for no reason. But yeah, they just put you on a vessel and then they put a green boy and then they put a red boy. But they're not telling you, are you inbound or outbound, which is supposed to be your first question. Secondly, which region am I dealing with? Because for one, you just gotta know your region and you got to know the direction of where you're going to. Yeah, someone is dropping a chat. I'm just gonna read it out. What is the direction of the voyage? Exactly. What's the direction? Are you inbound or are you outbound? I remember, I mean, I've sailed a lot in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, on airports, and yeah, Kelvin, I understand you're struggling with network. It's okay. I see, you know, inbound, like I was saying, was the green and then, you know, the red. But coming out, you know, you always have its opposite ways as well. But now coming to an examiner, boom, it goes there. The first thing that comes to your subconscious mind is, oh, it's inbound. But no. First of all, where is it? Is it inbound? Is it outbound? Is it region A? Is it region B? All these things cropped together might be able to give you a full answer. So that's one of the things that feels, even really people that are even much more brilliant than me, they just bump into the exam mode, they've done so fine, and then they put them on the region and they just navigate like, is it region A inbound situation, which end up being, you know, a failure, unfortunately. So I hope this is kind of like something that not only for exam, but also for our subconscious mind to really note that, oh, there are questions I need to first ask before taking action. There are questions, which country am I? Under which region am I? Is it the region of region A? Is it the region of region B as well? Then what will be the characteristics of the lights, of the shape and everything? And the same thing goes with you know, the inbound or the outbound as well. So let's move away from this slide. This has been an interesting one. Direction of traffic flow. Now, the direction of traffic flow, of course, will be determined by, you know, Voyage authorities based on, whenever possible, on the principles of looking like they are kind of have like a clockwise, you know, direction as well. And this is just more of a British port here. If you can see London and Ipswich as well. Starboard and lateral mark, region A. So like I told someone that we're going to be seeing different light characteristics. So examiner will come, it picks up a lateral mark and then boom, it shows you and it tells you, give me the characteristics of this. So I'm just going to take it away from the slide and then ask somebody. Sorry. So is anybody in the class able to tell me how the characteristics of a starboard and lateral mark? I think I've shared this a little. Umar, are you still there? Oscar, Sierra. I just want to see people really try to tell me what they think. When they ask them, okay, give me the characteristics of the starboard and, I mean, starboard lateral mark, region A.
I'm a bit confused, but I see a continuous light.
I didn't get you.
I said I can see continuous quick light, which is called single flashlight.
Yeah, continuous. So just like Kelvin has said it now on the group chat as well. I've put all these things here for us to really understand. So it can be a continuous quick light. It can be a single flashing light. It can be a long flashing light. It can be a group flashing light. The major thing is any other. I mean, it can be flashing in any other reading apart from what? 2 + 1. So 2 plus 1 long glide. That's just the idea behind it as well. So when they show you a starboard lateral mark, region A, it flashes, and like I said, I'm concentrating on region A today because I really want us to grasp it. And then, yeah, we'll concentrate on region B. If we have time, we'll push on region B as well. But starboard lateral mark, green light, any other AD apart from 2 plus 1. So meaning it can be a continuous quick light. It can be a single flashing light. It can be a long flashing light. It can be a group flashing light, or any other reading apart from 2 plus 1. So when you see a green light, it's just bam, 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 and it's not bam, bam, bam. You should know that that is, and depending on the color, which is a green light, if you are in region A, like I said, region A, you might be in Europe, you might be in Nigeria, some part of Asia as well. You really know that, this is a starboard and lateral mark as well. Then starboard and lateral mark, this is how they start, starboard and lateral mark. Any other flashing apart from 2 plus 1. What are the shape of a starboard and lateral mark? The color is green for region A. For region A is green. For region B, it's the opposite, is red. And I'll state that again. For region A, your green, your starboard and lateral mark is green. But for region B, it's red. Your cone, the shape on top will either be, the shape of the buoy itself will either be cone, pillar, or it will be spar. But this is one place that I'm going to, your single green cone. So now, like I said, the color is green, but in region A, or in region B is red. The shape, it can be cone, just like you see on the screen. It can be pillar, it can be spar. The top mark, no matter the region, remains the same, except the color. So the top mark is cone. So even if you are in region A or region B, first thing you should look in the examiner, but the thing in the examiner, they don't always put the top mark first. Well, some put the top mark and try to test your knowledge as well. But also, even while you are there at sea, they put the green, they put the cone as well. So once you see a cone on top of a lateral mark, no matter the region, the cone signifies is a starboard and lateral mark. And I'll come down to the port lateral mark. And with that, you see a cone on top of a lateral mark, it signifies no matter the region. But be always very careful of the color. The color is opposite. The color is opposite. The color for starboard and lateral mark for region A and starboard and lateral mark for region B is opposite. So look at what you're seeing on the screen and then make it an opposite color. But the only thing that remains the same everywhere is the top mark. And that top mark is a cone. The day I understood that, it was the day I stopped being afraid of Boyage questions. Except the examiner just want to stick to your countries and just tell you it's region A and it's the easy one, it's in Nigeria or it's in Ghana or it's in wherever, Sierra Leone. But if he wants to really drill you as an international seafarer, he's going to really try and mess about with your head on this as well. But the only thing I just try to look out for is the top mark, not the shape. So the shape is what you see as a cone, pillar, or spar. But the top mark always remains one, which is the cone as well. So that's it for the starboard and lateral mark. And we have, of course, the green band round about it and the triangle as well. Just one more thing. Then the lights, which we have discussed. There's no need to be confusing about it. It's any other reading apart from 2+1. Some examples are, like I told you, the continuous quick light, the single flashing light, the long flashing light, the group flashing light. It might be anyone, but as long as it's not 2+1. And we are coming to boys that are really having this 2+1 as well. So the same thing now with port lateral mark. Can somebody help me out here? What would be the characteristics of it?
Characteristics. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. I can hear you, JJ. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, sir. Just as we have the lateral mark for the starboard side, the port side to share the same characteristics of the light. It can be continuous quick light, it can be single flash, it can be long flashing light, it can be group flashing light, except 2+1, except 2+1 for the port lateral mark region A.
Except 2+1 for the port lateral mark. Thank you very much. One more question. So let's see it as it is now, which is the region A. What can be different in region B?
Okay, top mark is cone, and this one is cylindrical.
Okay, can I ask you guys
Sorry, can you come again?
I said the top mark shape.
Yeah.
For the region A, starboard side, we have the cone. But for the region A, port side, the top mark, that is only different is spar. Or should I call it cylinder?
So now we have to be very careful there on just mentioning shapes. I know you understand the mental picture of what you're trying to paint, but making it audible in a different sense might sense that the exam, I might pass a message to the examiner that you do not really understand it. So we've really been able to capture that on the region A, we have the cone. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Cone for what?
Starboard side.
Cone for starboard side. Starboard and the starboard lateral mark. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So now on the port side, on the same region A, what are we supposed to have? What's the top mark?
The spar.
What?
I'm seeing cylindrical shape, not cone. The cylinder. Can.
So what did you see there now on the screen?
Can.
Thank you very much. So can.
Yeah, can.
Always have that mental picture. So now that is why I always like to say, and then thanks to somebody, I think it should be, I need to go back to the chat and say, yeah, November Alpha, he has tried to share his own knowledge. And he says, anytime you see can, it's to port, no matter the region. And then the cone is to starboard. Can is to port. So the top mark here on this lateral mark, on the port and lateral mark region A, what do we have here?
We have can.
Can. So it's not spar. Okay? Yeah. Don't go spar. You understand me? Don't go spar. Don't go on any shape. I know you have the mental picture, but try and paint it out. Try and paint it out to us. Try and paint it out to us, your junior officers. Try and paint it out to us, your your examiners. Try and paint it out to us to really understand, what you're saying. It's always a top mark, can, as well. So now, like I said, let's bring our mind back to region A. We've seen the cone on the starboard side. meaning it will always be on the starboard side. Then we see this can now on the port side as well. And like I said, it's going to be red. It's going to be red as well if it's region A as well. So are you clear? So OS, I just need you to really grasp that on the starboard lateral marks. What are we going to see on the top mark? Tell me again.
We are going to see
What?
we are going to see the can on the port lateral mark.
On the port lateral mark, and then on the starboard, what are you going to see?
Starboard lateral mark, we are going to see the cone.
We are going to see a cone. That's correct. That's correct. Now we're getting there as well. Now we're getting there. And like I said, like we have the green, because like I said, this is region A. We're going to be having, of course, the green band or the square. I mean the red one or the square on it. And what is going to be the rhythm of the light? Still sticking with you, Oscar, Sarah?
We are going to still have continuous quick light, single flashing light, long flashlight, and a group flashlight.
And group flashlight, but that does not end the answer. That does not end the answer. Or what?
Or 1/2.
No, don't confuse yourself. There is a light that the lateral mark, both lateral mark and the starboard and lateral mark must not exhibit. Which light is that? I think you know it because we've just discussed it, but it's just a little confusing. If anybody just want to help us with that light, so it can show any light. The port and lateral mark can show any light. It can show a continuous quick. It can show a continuous light, a single flashing light, a long flashing light, a group flashing light, but it must not show.
It must not show the equal light, like equal light and equal darkness.
It must not show what?
The same. That is the same time of dark and light.
It can show any other light, but look at what's on the screen now. Thank you, Captain Tolu, for joining us, sir. What other light is it that is saying here? Can somebody tell me? Omar, can you read it out for me?
Except 2 + 1, 2 + 1.
Except 2 + 1. Exactly. So it can show any other light, but it cannot show 2 + 1. So once we start trying to mingle out or thinking in our brain, oh, what kind of light is it? First thing we should look out for is, boom, is it showing 2 + 1? If it's not showing 2 + 1, then it's showing and it's showing a color of light which can be red or green. Then we start thinking, yeah, this is a lateral mark. So if we are a region A port and lateral mark will show the red, and a starboard and lateral mark will show the green. I know this is all confusing, but there will be exercises that I will put in the series of this study. It might be my other captains taking it, but I'll try to make sure that they input it as well for us to really grasp this confusion. Let me put it that way. This confusion immediately as well. So let's say it's showing a red lateral. I mean, it's showing a red light other than 2 + 1. That means it's a lateral mark. So the first thing again that goes to our mind: which region are we? Which country are we? That will now determine, okay, whether we're in region A, region B. And like I told you, it's going to show a red light in region A, but it's not going to show a red light in region B. It's going to show you the opposite as well. I think I would really like to stop here today, and I would really like us to go back and really try to really analyze this as well. And next week again, we'll really continue from this one, entering into region B, then navigate around it. But one thing I know, which I'm very always sure of, is the examiner is not always going to give you to navigate in. Yeah, Prince, I see you, your hand is raised up. I'm gonna come to you now. But the examiner is not going to allow you to navigate region A and region B together because it's in normal sense it's not possible. So it gives you either one region. So once it gives you that region and you ask you which region is this, it's fine. But you must always be able to ascertain which region you're going to as well. So thank you very much. Prince, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Please, I want to ask this question because someone said something last time. I just want to confirm if it's true. Are we to ask our examiner a question, from example, just like what you just said? If such question is thrown at us, are we to ask him, please, what region is this, for we to know exactly what to answer? Because someone said last time that we shouldn't be asking our examiner's question. It can lead to failure or something like that. So I just want a clarification on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that's a very important question, and I think I got to a point I'm just going to so that you can all hear accept your background voice. Thank you. So yeah, that's a very important question. And also, apart from people get to the to that awareness that, oh, I'm not to ask my examiner question, but that's not true. Because if you really don't understand the question and you are confident of your answer based on another question that you think your examiner had, the examiner is not going to assume that, oh, you misinterpreted the question. So even if it's an interview, and like I said, I really love orals because orals prepared me for many interviews while working for different companies, working for different shipping companies, I'm assured. Because if the interviewer asks me a question and I really don't understand, I cannot make answers or correct answers based on scanty, scanty assumptions or like we have it in our corruption regulation. Don't make assumptions based on scanty, information or scanty reader information as well. So if you do not have, correct information, if you don't have a solid information, do not make an answer. And it's the same as well when we go on board. Do not make assumption based on scanty information as well. Let's keep the scanty reader information. So if we see that we are not sure which region we are, but oh, let's go this way. No, it's wrong. We're going to be putting life at stake. We're going to be putting marine environment at stake and the marine properties as well. So also, examiners trust me when I say this, especially when your questions are constructive. Your question, because some questions, some examiners take it a little annoying, a little upsetting, which should not be so. But when your questions are constructing in a sense that, oh, sir, I know there is region A and there is region B. I just want a clarity. I just want to be sure before taking action. I want to be sure before sailing my vessel. Now, which region am I sailing? And is it region A or region B? And there are some questions that the examiner really knows that, oh, this guy really knows exactly what he's talking about. There are really some questions that even gain you points. There are really some questions that really say, oh, no, this guy is not just making answers based on what he has got, but he's making answers based on what he has got, I meant what he has memorized, but he's making answers based on a full understanding. So he needs to make a full appraisal of the situation, if you understand what I mean. So in cases like this, and also in cases like CORE, please, also, there is no examiner. I mean, there is no professional examiner, and I mean, there is no good examiner that will not be happy to take in your questions, especially on collision regulations and Voyage system, to answer and give you a full appraisal and give you a full situation of where you are going to, and will not be happy. So please ask the examiner these questions. Are we inbound or outbound? Direction of the traffic flow, very, very important. Are we going in region A or region B? So I cannot assume, because if I go in region B, if I take action based on region B, I might just end up grounding the vessel. I might end up being another evergreen case again. I might end up being an obstacle there again, blocking the whole channel and really endangering lives and properties as well. So please don't be afraid of asking questions as well. And this is not just stick to collision regulation, COREX and Voyage, but also other questions. I have some captains here on this platform. Some of them, they went to Scotland to get their orals done. I have Omar here as well in Egypt. Sometimes you don't hear the examiner and you think the examiner is asking A, whereas it really meant 1, 2, 3. And you might just give him as an answer, and it just looks like you don't know what you're talking about. The only thing, I knew what I'm talking about, but I didn't hear your question very well. So please, for your sake, for the exam's sake, as well, and it's the same thing even on board as well. If you know you don't understand what the captain is doing, try ask. If you don't understand what your mates are doing, try ask. Get a full appraisal of the situation. I keep using that word. Before you make bold alteration, before you make bold answers, before you make bold actions as well. And that, I think that happens sometimes in life situations as well. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much. I copy it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Does anybody have any question? Like I said, I really we're going to continue from region B of the natural marks, then we get into the cardinal marks, and then the isolated danger and the safe water marks as well. But does anybody have any question? All right, I'm just going to stop sharing the screen now. And yeah, thanks everyone. I think this has been, I even learned myself as well on this lecture, and this has been an interesting lecture as well. So let's come in again, but I really like us to really try and let's just have a read through of the Voyage system. Like I said, it's really something someone can just overlook and say it's easy, except someone gets down to the exam and sees that, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have failed this, but yeah, nobody really wants to fail it because it looks easy, but extra preparation on it. So let's read about 1 or 2 confusing things again, and then bring your questions in, and then bring your doubts in, and then bring your listening ears, and let's flow together again next week. So yeah, we're going to be continuing this topic again next week, and it will be interesting as well. Thanks everyone. Thanks Captain Tango, Captain Tolu. Thank you very much for coming. JJ, Umar, thanks for your contribution. November Alpha, thanks. Your contribution was just really, really very nice. Kelvin, Oscar, Sierra, Apple, I wish it's apple juice, and Agbero, Prince. Thanks everyone. Thank you very much, and see you next week. It will be Voyage System Part 2. I think after this we'll have an oral just on Voyage, and we'll see how interesting it goes as well. So thank you very much, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah.